Hello, welcome back to my channel, the Bronson Sky Library. I'm Rachel, if you're new here. Probably are new here. Sorry, I am so out of breath. I'm pregnant, I'm 8 months pregnant, so everything is just, anything I do is just exhausting. I just set up my tripod and my camera, and that did me out. But I also just redid my hair, like I put like purple hair dye in it, and that also exhausted me. So doing my hair, putting up the tripod, putting my camera up is just really exhausting. Anyway, this week I'm going to be doing a weekly reading vlog. I tried to do a weekly reading vlog last week. It was supposed to go up yesterday, which was Sunday, but I realized that the weekly reading vlog was so boring because I didn't really read a lot, and then all of the clips that I made were kind of just saying the same thing over and over again. So I was like, you know what? I'll redo the weekly reading vlog and I'll put a little spice into it. Well, try to put a little spice into it. I looked at my screen time from last week and I was on social media and games a lot of the day. Like every single day, all the time I spent on social media and phone games just racked up. Like, let me tell you, being 8 months pregnant, I'm also just very exhausted and unmotivated to do like anything right now. And I struggle. I should have tried to catch my breath before recording. I just feel very unmotivated to do anything lately. So last week when I tried to do my weekly reading vlog, anytime I would like try to read, I just didn't really want to. And so I would just play phone games. I need to do more than just social media and phone games. So that's what I'm gonna do this week. Is I'm going to replace the time that I was on social media and games for reading this week. And I'm not going to replace the whole time because I was on it a lot. Like, you guys are gonna probably be like, girl, you need help, when I tell you how many hours I was on social media and phone games every single day. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was seriously, so on Monday, last Monday, I was on social media and phone games for 8 hours of the day. And I will say, I wake up pretty early sometimes. Like, I wake up every morning at like 4 a.m. and sometimes I can't go back to sleep, so I like stay awake until like 6, and so I'm playing phone games during that time. However, that's still a lot of time. So Monday was 8 hours. And so today, which is now this Monday, I am going to take that time, I'm going to cut it in half, because I'm also gonna cut it in half because like it's already almost 4 p.m. So I have until like 4 until 8, well, or like 4:30 until like 8:30 to read. So I'm going to do 4 hours of reading today. Let's hope I can do it. And then tomorrow I will record another clip, tell you like how many hours I was on social media and phone games for Tuesday, and we'll see, like, I'll do that like every single day. I'll try to do it every single day, hopefully. So let me tell you the books that I'm reading for this week. I'm reading my buddy read book, which is The Dollmakers by Lynn Buchanan. Sorry, I'm still kind of out of breath. I've been reading this like basically all month long, but I don't read every single day, so I'm not very far. But he and I also said we would read 3 chapters a week, which should be easy, right? Reading 3 chapters a week. However, it hasn't been. So I kind of want to finish this book. I want to finish at least 1 book this week, or, well, yeah, this week, because Friday is going to be May 1st. So I want to read at least 1 book in the month of April, and I feel like I would be able to binge this book faster than I would be able to binge this book, which is the other book that I'm reading, which might not be as exciting to you guys because, I mean, you guys might not be pregnant and you guys might not be having a baby like I am, and you guys might not be like into these kind of books. So, but I am reading this one. These are the books that I'm reading this week. And so yeah, I think this one is like I feel like this one would be more bingeable than this one. So I kind of want to finish this one, but my friend who I'm buddy reading this with isn't far. He's only on like chapter 3 or 4 or something like that, which there aren't actually chapter numbers, but he is not as far as I am. But we'll see what happens. I might finish both of them. Who knows? Because I have a lot of reading to do every single day. And I might not actually read the whole time. I might substitute that time for doing something creative, something else other than being on my phone and social media. So I'll tell you the kinds of things that I do during those hours. Today, I'm exhausted because I've already done a few things, like I've mentioned, so I'm just going to read and leave it at that. Okay, so before I go and officially read my 4 hours, I want to talk about like what the Dollmakers is and like where I'm at, how I'm enjoying it and stuff like that. So basically the Dollmakers, it is about doll makers. There are these people who create dolls. Either you are a guard doll maker or an artisan doll maker. And guard doll makers, they make the dolls where like these wooden dolls where they become animated, and they are then used to fight off something called the Shod, which is like this brunt force that goes to these like villages and terrorize and like kill the villages. And they're kind of like animal-like, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But that's what guard dolls are made for. And then an artisan doll maker makes dolls that also become animated to either be used as a kid's toy to like let the kids have fun with them and like play with them and stuff, or they're used to be kind of like a service doll. They like help people with chores or whatever they need. And our main character wants to be a guard doll maker. So she can kill off the rest of the Shod. Like her goal is to have her guard dolls be the best dolls ever and kill off the rest so that there is no more Shod. And while that is a worthy goal, the way she's going about it in this book is I'm not a fan of. So that's the premise of the book. And to explain our main character, the best way I can explain her is she is arrogant, egotistical, stubborn, dramatic, and kind of bitchy. She is a very unlikable character. And even though she's unlikable, I'm actually really enjoying the book. And even though she's unlikable, I just have to laugh at it because, and I don't think this is much of a spoiler, but at the beginning of the book, because it's at the very beginning, she is trying to get something that she wants, and she ends up not getting what she wants. And so the person who's supposed to give her what she wants, she ends up punching that person because she doesn't get it, and that makes her get even less than what she was given. So she now has literally nothing, and because she's angry about that, she goes back to her room and she throws a literal hissy fit. And let me tell you, this woman is in her 20s. Yes, she is in her 20s, and she is throwing a hissy fit. She's like in her room throwing things, pounding on things, breaking things, trying to rip her pillows apart. Like first she's like trying to rip them apart with her hands, and then at one point her master doll maker, who also raised her, comes into her room, and he's like watching all this happen, and then like he sees her try to rip it with the pillows with her hands. Doesn't work, so she puts the pillows in her mouth and goes like and then like rips them. She's throwing an actual hissy fit over not getting what she wants. And it's just so funny to me that this 20-something-year-old is throwing a hissy fit. I continuously read this book, and like I will pause if I'm reading in front of my husband, and like if this character does something, I will pause and I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl. And my husband is like, what does she do now? And so I have to like explain to him like what she does and stuff. Like, she's very unlikable, but I'm just having a good time with it. I think her unlikableness is really fun. However, I am not rooting for her. Like, this is one of the first books and like first main characters that I'm actually genuinely not rooting for. I mean, am I rooting for her to get her what she wants? Like, she wants to kill off the Shad. Is that a worthy goal? Yes. Do I think she should like try and achieve that? And do I wish that she achieves that? Yes. However, the way she's going about it is not okay with me. Like, there's this other character she is trying to do something to that I just am not about it. I don't, I'm like, the way you're trying to achieve your goal by doing this to this girl is not okay with me. So I'm not rooting for her. And I told my husband this, I'm like, I'm actually rooting for this other character who is technically not our main character. So yeah, I am not rooting for a main character. And that's basically where I left off in my book, is that she's at this village where this other character is, and she's trying to do something that I don't like. That's where I stopped. And while I'm like grumbling and being like, oh my gosh, this character is still interesting and still fun. I have heard that like the last half of the book gets kind of wild and weird, but we'll see. Hopefully I still like it. Anyway, it is 4:21, so I better go and read so I can get my 4 hours of reading in. I will check back with you tomorrow.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so this is what I mean when I say our main character is arrogant, egotistical, God's gift to doll making and stuff. Here in this like paragraph, she's talking about a man she met on her journey to this town, this like beautiful man, and she's upset that this character, Aikisa, who she's trying to do something to, she's upset that she knows him. She knows this beautiful man that she met once. So she's like saying like, none of this is fair. And then, so this line, it says, especially not Roke knowing Aikisa. She cut off, realizing she was about to say mine. Like, excuse me, ma'am, he's not yours. Like, he's not yours. You are not better than Aikisa. You are not better than everybody else. You need humbling.
5 minutes later.
Okay, sorry about this angle. It might be like slightly weird of an angle, but I didn't want to put my camera back on the tripod. But I do want to read you this passage. It's like the page immediately after she is like saying that she's about to say that this man that she met once is hers. And so she's like, she goes, hers, a stranger she'd met once, had one conversation with, and shared a meal with, hers? Yes, she'd met him her first day out of Pearl. She was the one who talked to him about his homeland and the Shad, not Aikisa. Her, Sheen. She saw him first. Like, girl, he is not yours. You did not meet him first, actually. Aikisa did. And yeah, you just need to be humbled. Seriously, girl, you need to be humbled. You are not, like, you don't deserve everything, okay? Like, yeah, your dolls are amazing. They're beautiful. They are really great, but you still need to be humbled.
5 minutes later.
Okay, sorry, I keep pausing my reading to tell you about this book, because she did and said another thing. Our main character said another thing that is so funny to me. She said, she says this was why she didn't like children. They were pathological liars, making up excuses and pinning their actions on anything, anyone, to avoid criticism. which is so funny to me because she did the exact same thing to Aikisa. Like, girl. Like, she doesn't like kids because she thinks they're pathological liars and that they like to pin things on other people, but like she literally did the same thing earlier. Oh my goodness, this woman. Anyway, I'm really enjoying the book. I really am having a good time with it. I just have to laugh at our main character. Okay, so it is now Wednesday. I ended up not recording anything yesterday because I was a little bit busy going to doctor's appointments. Well, just one doctor appointment, and then also taking my own maternity photos. So that's what I did yesterday instead of reading. I didn't record anything, and I didn't like update what like my progress was, but I'm going to record an update now. So Monday, I was supposed to read 4 hours that day. Did I actually read 4 hours? No. I read about 3 hours, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 3.5. So I was close, I think. So yeah, I did read about 57 pages in the Dollmaker, and it was a hoot. Let me tell you that. I took like a nap in the middle of reading, and so I did read past the 8:30 that I was supposed to read until, because I took like an hour nap in the middle of that. I did go on to social media. No, I didn't go on to social media throughout that. I recorded clips, and I am a perfectionist, so I feel like I kept like recording the same clip over and over because I wanted it to be good. But it might not be good. I'm not sure about that. So I kind of rounded it out. I did take 4 hours of my day for reading, but like out of those hours, I feel like it was only 3 because of the nap and because of recording clips and stuff. So that was Monday. And then yesterday, Tuesday, I was supposed to read for 3 hours, and I only read for 10 minutes. I only read for 10 minutes yesterday, and that was like at 11:30 at night. And so by like 11:40, I looked over at my husband and I was like, I'm going to bed. I can't stay awake. I was having a hard time staying awake, so I was like, I can't read even though I want to read. So I only read like 3 minutes, or 3 pages. I only read 3 pages in the Dollmakers and nothing in my birth book. I did read in my birth book on Monday as well, but I don't remember how many pages I read that day. It was only a few, but I did get some like good information out of the birth book because I read a section about a test that they do around between like 36 and 38 weeks, and it's not like if you test positive for it, it's not like the end of the world or anything. And I read about that in the birth book, and then I had that test yesterday, and the midwife was talking to me about it, and she was just explaining what the test was, and I was like, little do you know, I read about it the day before. But I didn't like, I wasn't all prideful and like, I already know. I just listened to her and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, that's awesome. Anyway, that is my experience with the birth book in the past couple of days. And then today. So yeah, I didn't read a lot yesterday, but I did do my maternity photos. I took my own maternity photos, and that did take a while because we struggled to take them at first. I struggled to take them at first. Like nothing was going how I wanted it to go, and yeah, I was getting frustrated. And so it took a lot longer. Like, I told him at one point, I told my husband, I was like, I'm kind of done. I'm done taking our photos. I don't want to do anymore. And he's like, that's fine. But then I was like thinking about it and like, you know what? This is why I'm struggling. And I was like, I need to fix like a few things here and there. And then maybe we can get crack-lacking again. So we did, and we got some good photos after that. And here are some of the photos if you want to see. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday. So I feel like it wasn't a huge failure, but it wasn't what I had hoped it would be. Because like, I was thinking maybe I should read in the morning and then I can get it out of the way. And then we'll have like I thought like I would read in the morning and then we'd have my appointment and then do maternity photos and then I'd be good for the day. But I was sleepy in the morning because I am always sleepy. Anyway, this is a lot of information that you might not care about. Anyway, so I don't feel like it was a huge failure yesterday because I did do some other things other than be on my phone a lot. But then after I took the photos and edited the photos, I put them up on social media, and then I kept like looking at my phone and being like, ooh, like let's see who liked it. I do that all the time. It's like going every like 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, like just searching like, did anybody comment? Did anybody like? So yeah, so I was on my phone a little bit, and I have been playing games every day still, but I don't think for as long, so I think I'm getting better. Okay, now today, I haven't read yet. I'm supposed to be reading for 3 hours today, and it's currently 1:07. So I'm going, after this clip, I'm going to read for 3 hours, hopefully. And I might read more. We'll see. I probably won't, actually. Just forget I said that. I probably won't. But yeah, I am going to read, I'm probably going to read the Dollmakers. I am about 54% of the way through of this book, so I want to finish this. You know what? Is today the last day of April? Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure it's the last day of April, so I gotta get crack-a-lackin' and finish this today, actually. So maybe I will read more, and I will finish this book today, because there's no way I'm finishing this book. So maybe I can do it. I'm not a fast reader, so I don't know if I will, because I still have like this chunk left. I don't know if you can see that, but I still have like this chunk left. So, and I'm not a fast reader, so I don't know if I'll be able to finish it or not. But maybe I can. Maybe I can. Anyway, that's my goal. A little update on the reading. Our main character, well, okay, so the book went into a direction that I wasn't like extremely happy about. However, I really am hoping that that she'll get humbled very, very soon. I feel like it's coming. I feel like our main character has to get humbled real quick, real soon, okay? I just feel it. And if she doesn't, by the end of the book, if she is not humbled, like majorly humbled, I'm going to be so annoyed. Anyway, that is my update. So, sorry, that was probably a lot of information that you probably didn't really care about. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off now and read. Oh, hi Yumi. Welcome to Earth. Hi Kiko, welcome to Earth as well. Didn't realize you guys decided to wake up. My cats are awake. You can't really see them, but they've been sleeping like all day. They sleep a lot. Anyway, look at my kitty. Okay, so it's currently 5:30. I decided to stop reading now because that makes it the whole 3 hours, because I read from 1:30 to 2:30, 2:30 to 3:30, took a nap. No, I read from 1:30 to 2:30, took a nap for an hour, read from 3:30 to 4:30, and then 4:30 to 5:30. So that's 3 hours. So I have decided to stop reading because I'm tired. I said I would go for a walk, so maybe I'll do that. But my thoughts so far on the Dollmakers. I've heard people say they didn't really like the last half of the book, which I can kind of maybe see where they're coming from and like why. For me, it's the fact that there's like world building happening, but it's never really expounded upon. It's just like we learn something new and then that's it. We don't go deeper into the world building, and it's like almost so close to the end of the book anyway that I'm like, what's the point of like learning all of these new things and then not expounding on it? And so that's where I'm a little frustrated, but at the same time, it's still an interesting book and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm not like super disappointed with the last half so far. I will say that I think she is planning, the author, I think she is planning on writing more in like this world, just not with the main like cast of this book, which I would be interested in reading because I want to know more about this particular world. So yeah, those are my thoughts for today. I will check in with you guys later. Yumi. Hi lady, what you doing up there? What you doing? Huh? Do you want to come down? Oh, sorry about the mess up there. We don't have much room in our small apartment for all of our stuff, and we need some moving, like we need some like crates, more crates like that. Oh, bloop, bloop, bloop. Did you have fun? Oh, my big belly getting in the way. Hi, lady. Hello. Say hi to the peoples. Say hi to the peoples. You cutie. So, today is now Saturday. As you can see, I did not update you guys on either Thursday or Friday. And the reason for that is because I was just unmotivated to do video clips. I mean, on Thursday, I did have a really good reading day, and by the end of the reading day, I was just kind of done. So I was like, I don't want to do any more clips. I don't want to do anything else for the rest of the day other than just, I don't even remember what I did the rest of the day. But that was Thursday, and then Friday was a complete doozy. I only read for maybe like 20 minutes, and the rest of the day was just doing nothing. I'm pretty sure I failed at being on my phone too much on Friday. I did finish the Dollmakers on Thursday, I believe. I finished this on Thursday, but before I give you an update on like my thoughts on the book, I wanted to update you guys on how many hours each day I read compared to how much phone time I was on like last week. And then I didn't really update you guys every single day on that like progress. So I wanted to update you today. Ow, you are on my belly. You are a dense girl, okay? You are so dense. And also no hair. Okay, so anyway, last Monday I was on social media and phone games for 8 hours, and then I ended up reading for 3 hours instead of 4, but I did get a good amount of pages in. I got about 57 pages, and then on Tuesday, last Tuesday, I was on social media and phone games for 6 hours. So I was going to do 3 hours of reading, but I ended up doing 10 minutes. Last Wednesday, I was on social media and phone games for 5 5.5 hours, and I was going to do 3 hours of reading on Wednesday. And what did I do? 3 hours on Wednesday. I read about 61 pages. Last Thursday I was on phones, or social and games for 9 hours. Yeah, you guys probably think I have a problem, which I do. I have a problem. I get it. I understand. I have a problem. So anyway, last Thursday, on it for 9 hours. So I was going to do 5 hours of reading and maybe like other creative things. And I ended up actually doing all 5 hours of reading that day, which resulted in me finishing the book and then reading about 106 pages that day. So I call that a win. Last Friday, I was also on socials and games for 9 hours of the day. So I was going to do 5 hours of reading / creativity. What did I do? Yeah, I did 20 minutes. I read 20 minutes yesterday. I picked up The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. Friday, I was not having a good day. Well, like, I wasn't necessarily having a bad day, but I wasn't necessarily having a good day. So it just ended up being kind of a doozy when it came to reading, and also I'm pretty sure I was on my phone quite a bit yesterday. And then today, I wasn't planning on doing the substituting my hours for today because I was going to end the vlog on Friday so I could have today to finish editing and stuff, but that didn't happen. That has been my journey of trying to see if I can read in substitution of being on my phone. I did okay. I think I did okay. I still have a lot to figure out when it comes to balancing my days better and not being on my phone as much. So, my update with the Dollmakers. I want to tell ya that she was finally humbled. She finally got her humbling in. Something like the major conflict of the story ended up humbling her, and she ended up being a little more tolerable. I didn't laugh at her absurdity as much throughout the last half. I didn't feel as bad for her. Like when she ended up getting humbled, I still wasn't like, oh, the poor character. I was like, yeah, you deserve this. You did what happened, you deserve it. I'm gonna be honest with you. You deserve it. But at least she was humbled. Those are my thoughts on the character. My thoughts on the book overall. I really enjoyed it. I think the best part of this book is just the world itself. Like the dolls and doll making is so interesting and cool, and I wish I had thought of something like this. It's that cool. My words are really bad. I'm really bad with words, but just know that the world is so interesting. The dolls and especially our main character Sheen's dolls. Her dolls are so unique, and I was so interested in why they were super unique. I also really liked Aikisa's dolls, and I also was very interested on the lore of the dolls and how they came to be and why people started making these dolls. I think the world is the best part of this story. However, the world building is also kind of not the best in my opinion. I mean, it's really good. The world building is good, but I wish that we still had gotten things expounded upon with the world building. There are still some unanswered questions that I have, and especially around Sheen's dolls, her dolls were very unique and different, and I wanted to understand why and how they were different than other dolls. How are they different? like, well, I know like the differences between like her dolls and others, but like how is it that they are different than the others? Like, why are they different than the others, you know? So I wanted more about that, but like we didn't really get that. And then there's that like beautiful man that Sheen called hers at one point. That character, his name is Roke, and I really wanted more on him and like his backstory and like what was going on with everything he was trying to do, but we didn't get a lot of his backstory either, or like the world building about the world surrounding him, because like his world seemed a little more different than Sheen's and Aikisa's. I wanted to know more about him, and we didn't really get that. We got some answers to things, but it was really weird. Like the conflict happened kind of like, it started like more in the middle of the book and like ended maybe like a quarter before the book ended. And so we had like a quarter left of the book for the resolution, which was a little different because sometimes the resolution happens within the last few pages, honestly. And so having the last quarter of the book be where we got answers to some of the questions that we were having about the world I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. So while I really, really enjoyed it, I still wish that I had gotten more answers, especially because this book is a standalone book, and with standalones, we usually get all of our questions answered usually. And I understand that this author is writing more books in this universe just with different characters, but I just wish that for this particular standalone we had gotten more than what we got. I also, again, even though the character was our main character was very unlikable, I just thought it was kind of funny and how unlikable she was, and I was amused by it, and so that made me really enjoy the book, because I was like, okay, well, what is this girl gonna do next? Like, how is she going to be the antagonist again? Because like, she is both protagonist and antagonist in this story. She was both antagonist and protagonist here, and which I thought like, and I thought the author did a really good job at like having that play out in the book. I really enjoyed it, even though she can be insufferable. But yeah, I think those are all of my thoughts about the Dollmakers. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars because of the lack of questions answered that I hoped would be answered and stuff like that. And then, yeah. So anyway, I finished a book in April. Heck yeah. Only one book in April was finished. April was a doozy of reading. Hopefully I can read more in May. Anyway, so I think this is where I'm going to end my vlog. I don't really have much to say about the spell shop, unfortunately, because I only read 6 pages. So I might do a weekly reading vlog with that one too. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm going to end this vlog here. So I will see you guys in my next video. All right, bye.